Good morning, student. Today, our next point of the syllabus is nothing but the Ohm's law. So, what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law states that the relation between electric current and potential difference, the relation between electric current and potential difference, that is, the current that flows through the conductor, the current that flows through the conductor is directly proportional to the voltage applied to it, but the physical condition remains same. So what is the physical condition? The temperature of the conductor remains same. If the temperature of the conductor remains same, under that condition only the Ohm's law will be proved. So what is that? Voltage is directly proportional to the current flowing to the conductor. See one simple example to prove the Ohm's law. If the resistance of an electric iron is 50 ohm, you know electric iron, that is the press, electric press. If the resistance of electric iron is 50 ohm and the current of 3.2 ampere flows through the resistance, find the voltage between the 2 points. So what is the solution? First of all, we have to collect the whatever the data given. What is given? The electric iron, which is having the resistance of 50 ohm, means R equals to 50. Current flowing through the electric iron is 3.2 ampere, means I equals to. What is our aim? Our aim is to find out the voltage between the 2 points. So our aim is to calculate the V. So as per the Ohm's law, V equals to IR. Substitute all these values in the equation, we get V equals to 3.2 multiplied by 50, that is, which is equals to 160 volt. So what is the voltage across the electric iron? That is the 160 volt. So if the voltage across the electric iron equals to 160 volt and the resistance remains having the same physical condition, under that conditions the Ohm's law will be followed. Then laws of Ohm's and Kirchhoff's. So what is Kirchhoff's current law? The algebraic sum of every current entering and leaving the node has to be null. Or what is the another statement? Current entering the node equals to current leaving the node. Current entering equals to the current leaving, or incoming current, which is equals to, or the algebraic sum of incoming current equals to outgoing current. So in the figure there are 5 currents: I1, I2, I3, I4 and I5. So I1, I2, R3 are coming towards the node. I1, I2, I3 are coming towards the node. That's why these currents are called as an incoming current. Which currents are called as incoming current? The direction of the current towards node, that is called as an incoming current. Then 2 more currents are there, that is I4 and I5. These currents are leaving the node. These currents are leaving the node. So direction of these currents are away from the node. So such current is called as a outgoing current. So as per the Kirchhoff's current law, the incoming current equals to outgoing current, or algebraic sum of current entering and the current leaving equals to 0 or null. So here we are assuming that the incoming current is assuming the positive direction and outgoing current are having the negative direction. So I1, I2, I3 are the incoming current and I4 and I5 are outgoing current. That's why I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 equals to 0. Or we can write incoming current equals to outgoing current, that is I1 plus I2 plus I3, which is equals to I4 plus I5. So we can use the both the statement, algebraic sum of every current entering and leaving the node is nil, or algebraic sum of incoming current equals to outgoing current. Then definition of Kirchhoff's law. So first law is nothing but the Kirchhoff's current law, that is the algebraic sum of incoming current equals to outgoing current of the particular node, or algebraic sum of incoming current is equals to the algebraic sum of outgoing current at any node in the circuit. So we have the another example, that is I1, I2 are the incoming current and I3 and I4 are the outgoing current. So how will you write the Kirchhoff's law for the second circuit? I1 plus I2 equals to I3 plus I4, or I1 plus I2 minus I3 minus I4 equals to 0. Then electrical parameters. The parameters which are useful to design the electric circuit called as electric parameters. So how will you design the circuit? We can design the circuit by interconnecting the electrical parameters, that is resistance, inductance and capacitance. So the resistance, inductance and capacitors are the electrical parameters. Sometimes the circuit may be purely resistive, means only resistances are connected in the circuit, having the series and the parallel combinations. Sometimes the RL circuit is there. In that circuit, resistances as well as the inductances are connected. Sometimes circuit may RC circuit, means in that circuit the resistances and capacitances are connected. Sometimes the circuit may be LC circuit, means it consisting of inductances and capacitances. So next one is nothing but the electric circuit. Up till now we have studied what are the electrical parameters. So what is electric circuit? The closed circuit consisting of the electrical parameters. The closed circuit consisting of electrical parameters when excited by voltage source, when excited by the voltage source and current flows, that circuit is called as a electric circuit. So what is the electric circuit? Electric circuit is doesn't mean the interconnections of the electrical parameter. What is the requirement? Interconnections of the electrical parameters, as well as we required the voltage source. At the same time some current must be flow from that circuit. That circuit is called as a electric circuit. Otherwise what happens? That circuit may be differ. Sometimes open circuit, if the current will not flow. So next one is the junction or node. So how will you define the junction? If the interconnections of the two or more than two electrical parameters. What is the junction or node? It is the interconnections of two or more than two parameters at a particular point is called as junction or node. So interconnections of the two or more electrical parameters means what? Two resistances, then one resistance, one inductance, one resistance, one capacitance, or one inductance and one capacitance. If the such interconnections of the electrical parameters are there, then that point is called as a junction or node. The next definition is nothing but the branch. How will you define the branch? The line joining the two nodes called as branch. The line joining the two nodes. That line is joined by sometimes resistance, sometimes inductance, sometimes capacitance. Then next definition is nothing but the circuit. The interconnections of electrical parameters is called as electric circuit. Then electric circuits are further classified as open circuit. The circuit in which current is equal to 0, that circuit is called as a open circuit. Sometimes in the home appliances, what happens? Even though there is a supply in the at home, there is a supply at home, sometimes what happens? The fan or tube light refuse to start. Okay. So what happens? Such conditions is called as a open circuit. Means what? The proper voltage not applied across the tube light or fan or any home appliances. Under that condition, what happens? That circuit is called as a open circuit. So in the open circuit, what is the value of current? The value of current equals to 0. Whereas, what is the value of voltage? Voltage is nothing but the voltage that is applied across that equipment. For example, sometimes what happens? The tube light or fan refuse to start. Under that condition, what happens? There is a zero current. Why? Because the circuit is not closed. Why? The circuit is not closed, but full voltage across the fan. Full voltage across the fan. Such circuit is called as a open circuit. Nothing but the short circuit. The circuit in which the voltage is equal to 0. That circuit is called as a short circuit. So voltage equals to 0 means what? Voltage equals to 0 means there is sometimes short circuited. Under that condition, what happens? The fan will not be start. But what is the difference between open circuit and short circuit? In the open circuit, the current becomes 0, and in the short circuit, the voltage becomes 0. So, we have the four circuit. First one is the normal closed circuit. Whenever the switch is on, under that condition, what happens? The fan starts rotating. That circuit is called as a closed circuit. Second circuit is nothing but the open circuit. So whenever the switch is on, under that condition, the fan refuses to start. So that circuit consisting of only voltage and there will not be any current. That circuit is called as a open circuit. Third circuit is called as a short circuit. Under this condition also, when we switch on the fan refuses to start. But under this condition, the voltage becomes 0 and the current is maximum. And one more circuit is there, that is the earth leakage circuit. So under that condition, what happens? If the live wire touches the body of the fan, live wire touches the body of the fan, then that circuit is called as a earth leakage circuit. So in this way, four circuits are there. First one is nothing but the closed circuit, that is the normal circuit. Second one is nothing but the open circuit. Third one is nothing but the short circuit, and the last one is nothing but the leakage circuit. Then see the Kirchhoff's voltage law. First was Kirchhoff's current law. Sometimes it is called as a KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. Second law is nothing but the KVL, that is the Kirchhoff's voltage law. See the statement of the Kirchhoff's voltage law. The algebraic sum of voltages in the circuit. The algebraic sum of voltages in the circuit is equal to the algebraic sum of voltage drop, called as Kirchhoff's voltage law. So, to understand the statement of the Kirchhoff's voltage law, we have the simple circuit. That circuit consisting of two resistances, three resistances R1, R2, R3. Then currents are there, two loop current I1 and I2. Two battery sources are there, E1 and E2. So how many loops are there in this circuit? In this circuit there are two loops. Current flowing to the first loop is nothing but the I1. Current flowing to the second loop is nothing but the I2. Then E1 is nothing but the voltage source on the first end, and E2 is nothing but the second voltage source on the another end. So what is our aim? Our aim is to prove the Kirchhoff's voltage law for this circuit. So see this circuit. In between A and B, there is a resistance R. Between B and C, again resistance R. Between C and D, resistance R. And between D and A, that is resistance R. So I am assuming that voltage across R is nothing but the VAB, then VBC plus VCD and VDA. So what is VAB, VBC, VCD and VDA? These are the voltage drop across AB or resistance R, across BC, second resistance R, across CB, that is third resistance R, and across DA, fourth resistance R. So addition of all the DC plus VCD plus VDA equals to 0. See the second circuit consisting of R1 and R2. Two resistances are there and two voltage sources are there. That is E1 and E2. And the direction of the current is clockwise. That is, current will flow from the E1 battery from positive to negative. That will be the positive current. Whereas the E2 is connected across exactly opposite in polarity with respect to the E1. So how will you write the Kirchhoff's voltage law for this circuit? E1 is positive. Why? Because it follows the direction of the current from positive to negative through the plus V1. Why V1? Because V1 follows the direction of the current I. That's why positive. Then minus V2. Why minus V2? Because the direction of the current is clockwise and the voltage across the R2 or drop across R2 is exactly negative, that is the anti-clockwise, that's why negative V2. Then minus of E2. Why minus of E2? Because the direction of the current is clockwise, whereas the E2 shows that due to this E2 the current will flow from positive to negative through R2 and R1. That's why the direction of the E2 is exactly opposite to the direction of current given in the circuit I. That's why minus E2. So what is the equation then? E1 plus V1 equals to V2 plus E2. E1 plus V1 equals to E2 plus V2. Then see the next circuit. So 10 volt supply is connected across VR1, that is the resistance R1, whose voltage across the resistance is nothing but the 4 volt. Then second resistance are in series, that is R2, whose voltage across R2 is equals to 4 volt. Third resistance is R3, whose voltage is equals to 2 volt. So what is the law? Says that summation of all voltage rise equals to the summation of drop. Summation of all voltage rise equals to summation of drop. So summation of all voltages. How many voltage sources are there? Only one voltage source is there, that is the 10 volt. Then what are the drops? Yes, first drop due to the R1, second drop due to the R2 and third drop due to the R3. Means what? 10 volt equals to 4 volt plus 4 volt plus 2 volt. So here the Kirchhoff's voltage law is proved. Addition of all voltage rise equals to the addition of all voltage drop, or algebraic sum of voltages equals to algebraic sum of voltage drop. In this circuit only one voltage source is there. In some circuit there are two voltage source, three voltage source, then two loop, three loop. For every loop you have to use this relation, that is the sum of the voltage rise equals to the sum of voltage drop. Then see the next circuit, that is the passive circuit. So what is passive circuit? The circuit which consisting of only passive elements, called as the passive circuit. Now question arises, what is passive elements? The elements which consumes the power. The element which consumes the power is called as the passive elements. So first passive element is nothing but the resistance, second inductance, third capacitance. If you see the home appliances, which are the home appliances? which consumes the power, that is tube light, fan, AC, TV, mixer, fridge, washing machine, electric iron, etc. These are the passive element. Then active element, the element which delivers the power. The element which delivers the power are called as active element. So what are the active element? That is the voltage, current, voltage source or current source. So at our home there are passive element as well as the active element. Voltage source is available at our home, and the passive elements are also available, that is the fan, tube light, TV, fridge. So home appliances is nothing but the combination of passive element as well as the active element. So what is the active circuit? The circuit which consisting of only active element. The circuit which consisting of only active element, such circuit is called as the active. So which are the active elements are there? Voltage source, current source or voltage and current. Now see the circuit. The circuit consisting of V1, that is the voltage source, V2, that is the second voltage source, and I is nothing but the current source. So in this circuit only active elements are there. In this circuit only active elements are there. No passive element, that is the resistance, inductance, capacitance or fan, tube light like this. That's why this circuit is called as a active circuit. The next one is nothing but the loop. What is loop? The closed path in the circuit from which current flows. The closed path in the circuit from which current flows, that circuit or that part is called as a loop. Sometimes loop is open. Loop is open means what? There is no current, or it's called as a open circuit. Then next one is nothing but the linear circuit. So before that, see this diagram. This diagram consisting of two loops. From the first loop, current I1 is flowing, and from the second loop, the I2 is flowing. So circuit consisting of two loops, sometimes one loop or three loops. So number of loops equals to the number of loop current. One loop is there, one current will flow. If the two loops are there, two current will flow. If the three loops are there, three current will flow. Then next one is nothing but the linear circuit. Next one is nothing but the linear circuit. The circuit whose parameters does not change with change in voltage or current, that circuit is called as a linear circuit. Then what is non-linear circuit? The circuit whose parameter changes with change in voltage or current is called as a non-linear circuit. Then unilateral circuit, the circuit whose properties or characteristics changes with the direction of its operation, called as a unilateral circuit. And next is nothing but the bilateral circuit, the circuit whose properties or characteristics doesn't changes or came in either direction, called as a bilateral circuit. Then mesh, it is the loop that does not contain any another loop. What is the mesh? It is the loop that does not consisting of any other loop. So with this last definition of the mesh, we have completed all the basic definitions. Basic definition, that is the different types of circuit: loop, mesh, element, that is the passive, active, then passive circuit, active circuit. Then we have series circuit, parallel circuit, what is the relation between series and parallel. Then star and delta, how to convert the star connection into the delta and delta into the star. So by using all the definitions and their relations, so we have to solve some numericals on this electrical circuit in the next lecture. So before that you have to revise all these 3 lectures, as well as you have to prepare the notes by using these PPTs. And after revising these notes, you will be able to solve numericals which are having the different parameters in the electrical circuit. So that numericals we will see in the next lecture. Okay, thank you class.